Good afternoon. It is, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. And today we really had, it was a range day. Whoops. It was a range day, but it looks like really we had this move, this leg up. That looks a little too tall. And two legs up. And then just this range right here. That's what I think. Once we hit that measured move, it got a little iffy. We hit a measured move of the overnight highs and lows. You could see that's actually really holding prices, as you can see. And that would be pretty helpful with these two trades right here. So we'll take a look at what I saw. The trades I marked. Oh, you know what? I actually wanted to mark a couple of these. We'll go through the price action and we'll see. But yeah, there's some stuff in here I needed to mark. Every day I leave my house and I have to reset my chart, so that's why sometimes you don't see anything. Actually, no, that's the first trade of the morning. This is all congestive. You could tell we were in a uptrend, but it was a little tough. These are the overnight highs, and yesterday's opening price, we tested it yesterday and closed that gap. And you could see prices were being held down a little bit right there, but then we jumped and you get a new low here. So first entry, failed second entry, great signal bar, close enough to this trend line. You probably would have had your trend line drawn a little differently at that point, but that's close enough to that trend line and the EMA. I really like that trade. This, I don't think you can enter in any of this. You might look at this as a failure, so you might go long there. But this is a new low, so then we get a first failed second entry. Let me get this off the screen. So you might go long there, but we just had a break of this trend line. So you would probably want to go on the engulfing bar as opposed to this, but that looks, I would bet that this trapped a lot of people, and that's why you got to be patient. We get this new low and you get a first failed second entry right here. I like that because we're expecting to make a new high. You might look at this as a failure off the trend line. This is clearly a trend up at this point, so you might, I don't really like that. It looks a little congestive and you're going into the highs, so that's aggressive, but you might take that. And Mac, I think Mac's probably going to say that this is too early to go short, but it just set up as a failed second entry long very well. You have a break of this channel. We've made a new high. We hit that measured move, so I like that. But you only get a scalp out of it, and boom, it makes a leg up, and that's why you shouldn't counter trend trade. So yeah, we hit this measured move of the overnight highs and lows now, and that pretty much turned prices, and we found some support right here. Not sure if that's an area of significance, but it looks like it's in between these highs and or not in between, it's like a measured move from these highs to the measured leg up, so that could be why prices turned here. And you get a first entry, second entry. I was waiting to go long here, but we just didn't get a good signal bar. Just a bunch of dojis. Unfortunately, you just don't get a good setup, but if you did go long, you're thinking correctly. And you get a higher low right here, which is also a failed second entry short. So I took that one. It's off the trend line as well. And unfortunately, I wasn't at my computer, but I don't think it's, look, we had a break of this channel and two legs up to a new high. So I like this setup a lot to go short on this failed second entry long. Great signal bar. Yeah. But then we bounce right here again. And that's where I would have had my runner target, and you would have gotten filled. I think that was like 3.5 points. We bounce again, come up here to the EMA, bounce again, come here, bounce again, and that's like a failed second entry short. Yeah, it looks congested, but if you know what's going on, look at all that support. I think that's a nice place to be aggressive, but it's definitely aggressive. Yeah, and then we come up here and we make this like double test or triple test of that price level. I don't think you can go short going into the EMA like that, especially since the bias is up. But when we come here and make a first entry, second entry short close to this price level at the measured move with that much space to the EMA, I like that. I like that move. And then here it's just like matching highs. It kind of looks like a second entry short, but it's not, and it's at that measured move. So you might take that too. So that's what I saw today. Another thing I want to say is Mac might have his trend drawn differently. I viewed this as a spike and channel up, but you know, it probably looks way different when you have it drawn like this. That looks pretty valid. If you draw it off the highs, yeah, that midline looks pretty accurate, you know. I think that actually might be it. So I was correct in saying that it's a spike and channel, but I think my trend line was off, and that would help you take this as a second entry long right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. But that's the problem is I don't know. That's tough. We'll see how Mac draws his. But yeah, that's what I saw for today. Let's take a look at the trades I entered on. So I did take this failure, and if I had my trend line drawn the way I have it drawn now, I don't think I would have taken that failure. But it was a great setup and it did work out. So good trade there. And then this is a failure. It's a little aggressive, but when this didn't set up well, it's just like a higher low. So I like that. I like that. Yeah, it gets you a scalp. Those are the trades I took today. So I hope everyone had a great day, and I will be back tomorrow.